SEED stands for Seeking Educational Equity and Diversity. It is a national program that's been around for about 32 years or so, started by Peggy McIntosh from Wesley College. And what SEED really is it's a diversity seminar that is much different than anything I've ever been a part of in my life. We study what we call the scholarship on the shelves and scholarship of ourselves. And the difference between that is we have like current literature that we follow through like race and gender and sexual identity and ageism and all those kind of things. And we study like systems and structures as it relates to that. And we analyze that data and we have these kind of difficult conversations in a very kind of cerebral way. Which I think most people are used to. Like you have an article and you share it and you say, what's your perspective on that? But the thing that SEED adds to that is these perspectives, what's in the room. And that's the curriculum in the room. And that's the stories that people have inside of them, their experiences. And so it's quite addictive when you sit around a group of folks that are so introspective and share some deep, intimate stories about themselves that they didn't even know were in them. And that comes from the facilitation, from the questions that are asked. But they go on this journey, and you get to go along with them. And in doing so, you get reflections back to you, some things that feel common. And then a lot of times you get a lot of what we call window experiences, where you're like, oh, wow, I've never seen that before. It's like looking into another world. And what I think it ultimately does is develop empathy in a way that having those kind of cerebral conversations just can't do.
I really love it. It's been a really very cool experience. I love that it's made me look deeper at my own life and the way that I was raised and my own journey through life. And through understanding myself better, I feel like I've gotten a better look at the world around me. It's really changed the way that I view the world and the way I view myself and other people. I talk about it so much that even my husband's sharing his SEED moments with me now.
I love the conversations. I was surprised at how much I learned, or even maybe more surprised at how much I thought I knew about certain topics. And, just having those conversations where you think you know your point of view and you think you know your argument about something, and then you listen to all the shared stories and you change, and you have that aha moment. And I didn't realize how much listening to others would change your opinion, your views, and just outlook on a lot of different topics.
Yeah, there have been a lot of aha moments. I know one of the activities that we did, we had to think about our own privilege and whether we were in a majority in society or not. And having grown up in a lower income home myself, I think I always thought that I'm really fortunate to have a great job and to have had amazing experiences. But doing that activity actually made me realize how much privilege I really have now, and how being a female, I will experience sexism, but I'm not experiencing any kind of religious oppression or any sexual orientation oppression or any racial, socioeconomic, other experiences that people have regularly in society. It made me really realize how privileged, I knew I was privileged, but really to the extent of my privilege today in society.
I think the first thing that you think it's all about is about the school. And I think that the main thing that I learned, it's not really about the school. It's about people and how people function in society and move around. And I think that if you kind of pose it like this is a window that kind of helps you through some stuff, and there's no element in your life where some of the tools that you learned here wouldn't be applicable. Like there's nothing you do on a day-to-day basis where something that you learned here wouldn't apply. So it's not just about the school. Of course, that's what we're here for. Of course, it's about creating a better environment for our kids, but at the same time, it's a better home life, it's a better work life, it's a better is just getting to understand life generally. So that's what I would share with them. And people don't understand maybe how much work situations apply to this, things that happen at work, and all of these things that happen throughout your day, and you kind of have these aha moments from them, and it kind of gives you a bit of clarity.
Yeah, it's offered me some like insight into, the community, me, as a person, other people. I can't say like things were entirely shocking, but things are definitely clarified. I consider myself a pretty enlightened person, but even that, this was really informative, and I was surprised how much I really did learn too.
What I love most about Seed is that it gives you an opportunity to just kind of stop and reflect and do some self reflection. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about me and things from my past, and I think it made me more open to hearing a lot and learning about other people's. I do sometimes say there's an author, Keegan, he talks about these different phases, and a lot of times I stay in stage 4, self-authoring, where I can meet someone and I already know their story. And I think this whole idea of the single story, the whole dismantling of that, it really has happened for me, just being a lot more open. I actually don't know their story. I didn't know, wow, that you came up that way or that this happened to you.
The way that it's made me feel is, I guess, maybe more thoughtful, and definitely more sensitive to other people that come into my life and other situations. So we have something called seed moments, where all throughout the month you're supposed to be kind of picking up different things, whether it's in the media or it's in a conversation you've had or something that you saw happen in your life throughout that month, and we bring it back to the meeting and we talk about our seed moments. So what it's doing is it's making us always aware of, whether it's an inequitable thing that's just happened to somebody, or how somebody was treated, whether they're LGBT, or it's a Black woman who's getting treated poorly in a situation at a grocery store. I mean, whatever it could be. Those things are just always in my mind now, and making me definitely be more thoughtful as to how I react to different situations.
I think a lot of the things I was aware of, but the level and the depth of it, I guess I wasn't aware of, and through activities that Brian had us do was very enlightening in terms of hearing the other story versus the concept of the single story, and how things are perceived versus, I'd say, my perception versus other people's perceptions and such.
I would definitely recommend Seed to other people. I think it was a great opportunity for self-reflection, but also personal growth. And like I said, there were times that I would be tired and not really want to go, but I think I realized that there was this piece of it that was kind of self-care, and it was a time where I wasn't on a computer, I wasn't looking at my cell phone. I was really just present with the people that were in Seed, and taking that time to do something for me and something for my school community, which I think is a really cool part of Seed that I wouldn't have thought would have come out of it.
I've always been interested in social justice and the community aspect of teaching and of the world, but I never expected to be quite so impacted by it and so fired up about it. I'm really excited to see where it leads me, even after the program and continuing on.